Hi everyone, my name is Patti, and I'm the CSO of Panome Bio, and I'm here today for ChatGJP. The question is, what is the best sample collection practices for metabolomics? Well, it is important to recognize that sample collection practices are incredibly important when you're performing metabolomics. In metabolomics, we're obviously trying to measure metabolites and lipids. And the thing to recognize about metabolites and lipids is that they turn over very quickly. Some metabolites are turning over on a millisecond timescale. And so what that means is that if you're harvesting a sample from a biological specimen, you're harvesting a sample from a biological system, that is, whether that be a tissue or a biofluid from a patient, from a model organism like a mouse or a zebrafish, or even a plant, the challenge is that it takes time to remove the sample or to extract those small molecules. And during that time, the metabolism or metabolic processes can actually be changing. So one of the main goals when we do metabolomics is the first thing we have to do is isolate the tissue of interest. So it might be that you're only interested in a biofluid. It might be that you're only interested in a brain or a specific region of the brain or the liver or whatever tissue or biofluid might be relevant to your specific experiments. But we first have to isolate that, and so the goal is to try to capture it from the biological system as fast as possible and then quickly get it to cold temperatures. Usually we're putting that on dry ice or liquid nitrogen. And the reason that we do that is because that quenches metabolism. Okay, and that stops those metabolic processes and prevents metabolites and lipids from turning over, so we can try to preserve that native state of the metabolic universe to try to measure it with metabolomics so that it most closely matches the way the sample looked when it was present in the biological sample. Okay, and that's really important. Certainly if you do something like you draw blood from a patient, and then the physician perhaps walks around for some time with the sample in his pocket without it being refrigerated or kept at cold temperatures. There's a lot of metabolites and lipids that are turning over during that time, and we know from our own experiences that that's going to lead to a lot of artifacts that won't reflect what was occurring in the actual biological system. So we want to avoid those types of improper sample handling practices at all costs.